Welcome to the Global Online Learning Development and Extended Network, or Golden LLC. It is a community of practice providing support, guidance, and professional development for online educators. You can learn more about us at goldenonline.org. Let's support online educators and, in turn, help their students to learn effectively online. The future of education depends on it.
Hello, everyone. My name is Dr. Rich Schultz, and I am the founder of Golden. And today we are here with Dr. Manishika Jain, and we will be talking a little bit about online learning and some of the things that she views from her perspective. And hello, how are you, Manishika?
Thanks, Dr. Rich. It has been a great opportunity to join Golden Initiative. You have been taking a lead role and it's really, really commendable. So definitely, I have been in the field of online learning since last 15 years. I have tried various compositions and combinations working on online learnings and initiatives for students. So our motto basically goes on innovating, igniting, and inspiring students. Education for everyone, focusing on concept and not on cutoff, focusing on excellence and not on basically competition, focusing on learning and not fretting. So that's the basic idea behind spreading education to everyone. Through various channels and various mediums, we have nearly 1.5 million monthly views on our various videos and the platform content that we provide. So it has been a great experience to bring education to the masses and help them grow. So that is the basic idea through which we have been working. And Examrace, doorstep tutor are some of our founding childs, we could say.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for joining us today. And I just wonder a little bit if you could discuss your personal philosophy of online education and how you approach that.
That's really a great question. So actually it begins with the story when I was a student preparing for graduate, postgraduate learning. And I belong to a town where internet those days was not easily available. So we had to go to cyber cafe and to get access to even little information that we wanted was a difficult task. So with that motive, I felt that students specifically from small cities or towns find it really, really difficult. And during that time, rural areas, online education in rural area was totally unimaginable. So that was a starting point where we laid the foundation of our platform Examrace. And then slowly and gradually, it started to percolate and go deeper into the roots of rural India. So as it started to grow into rural India, through word of mouth, it has started to spread from one region to other. And now we have such a huge community with us.
That's terrific. Great. That's awesome. It's so great that we see global developing on an international basis and being able to make those connections in all different places. And you're just one example of how we're making those connections in many different places across the world. And again, thank you so much for being here to talk a little bit about your experiences with online learning. What do you think the future holds for online learning? Where do you think it's going?
The future has tremendous opportunities, I would say. The one of the most important thing we need to note here is the best tutors are now available. So let's say I want to study any subject. I can get tutors from America. I can get best tutors from China, from Russia, from whatsoever part of the world I want. I can get into touch with various philosophies. I can develop interdisciplinary and inter-regional knowledge, which is very important. Also, a lot of the students feel that if they take at least one or two courses online, the cost reduces significantly for their graduate and postgraduate courses. So there can be a reduction of nearly 50% in the educational fees they are providing. So that is again one of the major steps that is possible. Flexible learning, flexible hours of learning, working people, then we can say people engaged with the various job or engaged with family responsibilities, or just having a will to learn something new, can now learn through online platforms. Because if they want it offline, they'll have to dedicate specific hours during the day, but with online they have all the flexibility. Even if they want to learn during night hours, it makes the work very very easier. In India specifically, like as of now, in the bigger cities or metropolitans, we see a lot of issues with commuting. Students waste hours and hours commuting. So there are 2 hours, 3 hours of commuting to reach to college to get basic education. If they want to pursue any extra courses somewhere else, then it takes another couple of 2, 3 hours. So that whole time of commuting can be saved.
Absolutely. So you've mentioned flexibility and you've mentioned the commute that students have. One of the things that we're seeing here, at least in the United States, is that the students that are taking online courses obviously are not using all the physical resources at institutions. So that saves the institutions from having to go out and purchase large amounts of computers for their labs. The students have access to the resources on their own, and therefore the institutions can downsize, if you will, a little bit too. So we see all sorts of advantages to online learning with, like you have mentioned, Manishka, the flexibility and the access and the diminishment of the commuting. All these things are positives. So how, in your particular area of expertise, how does your area fit in and really mesh with online learning in what it is that you do directly?
So I believe that my area specifically specializes in regional development, geography, GIS. So that specifically fits in very well, because we have lots of tools. For example, Google Earth. We have various softwares that can be demonstrated, and all that learning becomes much simpler when it is online. So even if a student is facing problem with certain command, they can simply go and watch out the exact section of the video. If they are in-house, they have to search for a right tutor who has a right expertise. If they find the tutor, that's fine. If they don't, they would be struck with the further developments in the project. So if the students are taking projects based on GIS, based on various subset skills, then it is very important that they get all the intricacies, and that is much more easier when it is online.
We actually share a background in that particular area. I've been teaching GIS for a number of years and geography and geosciences. And I think that's an excellent example that that particular discipline really lends itself to the online format. GIS and geospatial technologies has sort of been the forefront of pushing the online learning so that the technology is there and we're able to, like you say, access it, to be able to assist students when they're online with the various types of tools and so forth. So excellent point with using this particular discipline as a great example in online learning.
Right.
So kind of shifting back a little bit to Golden and what we do, when you first learned about Golden, what were your impressions and why do you think you chose to become a member of Golden? What does it help provide for you? What is your takeaway, Manishka?
This is really an amazing question, I would say. So, as I mentioned before, my initiative begins with providing education to the masses. And my initiative, when it was a very in its seedling stage, we could say, it has started with my region and then slowly to the people within the country, India. And now, when I got to learn about Golden, I definitely thought that this is an excellent way of reaching across communities, across countries. So, the best disciplines should definitely be taken across globe, and the learning should not be hampered, be it in a particular region or be it in a particular discipline.
Absolutely. I completely agree with you that we're making great connections literally across the world with Golden, and that's part of our vision. to be able to make these connections, to be able to support the online educators, particularly those that are brand new to online learning, because the last 17 months or so since the pandemic began, we've had a number of educators that they've struggled a little bit in trying to be able to translate what it is that they have been doing in the physical classrooms and making that something that is a very deep and rich learning experience for their students in the online format. And many of the educators just haven't had the experience of doing that before. It's not their fault, it's just that they haven't had the opportunity to do that in an online format. And learning to be able to teach in that particular environment is a set of skills. It requires a number of different areas of expertise, including instructional design and being able to have the right pedagogy so that you're not doing things like going online just to lecture on a video conferencing software. We want to be able to engage our students so much. So I think your comments are very appropriate in what it is that we're doing here with Golden. Any last items that you would like to add in here for our interview here, Manishika?
Yeah, definitely. I want that this platform should reach globally, and I would be taking personal initiatives on all fronts to help it grow.
Well, thank you so much. We really appreciate you being here in this our first in a series of video interviews and discussions. So thank you so much for the conversation, and we certainly look for the contributions and uh, everything that you can add to Golden in what it is that you do with online learning. So thank you again for being here.
Thank you.